Hi everyone, Rene with whyamigreen.com, and today I want to speak to you about everything hot peppers. Okay, I'm going to give you all the information I have on growing them and pruning them and pollinating them. I know they say that hot peppers are self-pollinating, but I don't have the wind in here that you would normally have. I have a fan behind me. I don't know if you can see it. Way over there, see, there's a fan. But it's not hitting all my plants, especially the ones that are flowering on the ground. So let's start out with brand new ones. Here's some brand new peppers I just planted. Ooh, I didn't put the date on, but probably about 4 days ago. Okay, and you can see most of those you see right there. Those are jalapenos going all the way up. I got the poblanos and I've got all different kinds. You can see some of them are just sprouting. So this is the beginning stage. Matter of fact, I had like a tent on top of them. I just took the tent off this morning. And so they're starting to, actually I took it off yesterday, and they're starting to sprout and going towards the light. I have them over here in this green section in my little cave. And what happens is they'll keep on growing, and about, I'd say 2 weeks, they get to this size. So these are dragon breath. Okay, so they are actually the hottest pepper on earth. The ones I showed you, the little ones, I have yellow bell, 2 rows of yellow bell. I've got, let's see, a few rows of jalapeno reds, and then the regular jalapeno green, the early ones. I got the ancho grande hot, and I've got the poblanos, mostly poblanos, and the ancho grandes because I like those for omelets and things. And I have enough of, again, my hot peppers that I don't need to grow too many others. So here's a beautiful dragon breath that's just about ready to be topped. It's actually not quite ready yet, but I'm going to do it just to show you how to do it. And what you need to do to top them is get yourself some nice sharp scissors. Now these, again, I'm from Maine, so these are actually lobster scissors. They're not the regular garden shears. They're actually very heavy duty, and it's for cutting open lobster shells. So you can cut through plastic. I've cut through unbelievable things with this, but they're very sharp. First day I got them, I almost cut through my finger. Okay, so you want to be careful. Now, when you're looking at topping these, let me find one I want to top the most here. Don't be worried to cut too much of the top off. Now, I had some others that were really tall when I topped them, so these are kind of small. So what I'm going to do is show you right here. You see right between these two right here? I'm going to top it right, can you see that? Right here at a little angle. And you can see how much I cut off of that. I actually cut this much off. Now when they get taller, I've actually cut up to 3/4 of them off. Now what's going to happen, you can see this one's already started. There's another one growing there. Oops, let me use this as a pointer. There's a new sprout coming up here, new sprout coming up here, and it's going to force sprouts a little bit lower. You can see a little nub right there, and it's going to make this tall plant into a wider plant. And I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So same thing here. You can see there's some nice leaves down there, but we want to get more growth down there. So I'm going to cut it right. Let's go a little bit further, right about here. And I know it looks kind of peaked. You're going, oh no, you cut off the growth. But I'm going to show you what happened to some others that I did, and they look great. Now let me move some of the stuff over so I can go right down the line. We're putting the babies down here, and I'm going to move these over here. And that brings me to these that I just cut. Actually, I just topped these a few days ago, and these were actually very tall initially. But take a look at, here's one here. These are grow bags, by the way, little, I think like 1 quart grow bags. But look at this one that I just topped. You see the little growth in there? Where's my scissors? I'll show you as a pointer again. Can you see the growth? There's new growth right there, new growth right there, new growth right there. I topped it right here. You can see where I cut it. The plant was pretty tall. Let's see with another one that I did. You can see some growth coming in. Once I topped this one, okay, I topped it right here. Matter of fact, there's a little nubbin coming in right there. There's another one here. There's another one here. So you can see they're going to grow in about another week or two. They're going to be nice and thick. Okay, now let's see how to move these around. Now these here, the same type of plants. These are all dragon breaths, by the way. And we're getting to bigger ones. And since I said this was everything dragon, everything pepper, can you see me here? Hi. I feel like a gnome in my garden. Since I said it was everything pepper, let me tell you some other things I've done. If you can see in this plant right here, you see what I did right over here? Move the plant. Can you see this right here? Oops. I'm moving the pepper plant over. And see this little monstrosity? These are marigolds. Marigolds, once I planted the marigolds in, I did them actually probably about a week when they were about this size here. I planted marigold seeds. They look like little thistles. I just stuck them in the ground and they're growing with the peppers. Now the pepper roots grow deep and out. The marigolds grow shallow, so they don't compete for energy or fuel or soil, but the marigolds are called companion plants with the peppers. It's going to help your peppers to grow bigger, stronger, but especially more pods. It's something that the marigolds do to help the peppers, and it grows more pods. Another great thing is, especially if they're not hot peppers, it's going to keep vermin away from them, because most small animals, cats and woodchucks and weasels, and most animals do not like the smell of marigolds. See, here's another one right here. I planted on this one. But every one of my big hot peppers, and I've got a whole mess of them here on the bottom of my tent, have marigolds in with them. So that's just something else that you might want to do. Actually, when I planted marigolds, I planted this plant. I don't know what this is. This one's not a marigold. That's going to be interesting. I don't know what this is. It might be a small strawberry plant, but whatever it is, it's doing really well. Okay, so anyways, these pepper plants, I want to try to show you. If you can see right over here, I'm going to try to bring it closer to you. This one was actually topped a couple weeks ago, and it was topped right here. Can you, oops, trying to move the plants. It was topped right here. Can you see that stump? Put my finger behind it. It was topped right there. That was the halfway through the plant. Then it started to spread out. And look at I broke it here when I moved it. Then I topped it here again. So I topped it a couple different places. So it started to grow out. And already I've got flowers there, flowers here. Now this one here, I'm gonna move this over, get this one in the limelight. Can you see this one? I topped it right down here. So look where I'm pointing. I'm gonna try to show it to you. Can you see where it was topped? Right down there. And you can see right beside it, another one grew, and there's a branch growing right beside it, and started to go up, and I topped it again over here, and it's starting to spread. Matter of fact, there's two more little ones here, and look at all those flowers. So you can see how great the topping did. I'm not going to top them anymore. I could if I wanted it bushier, but initially they were real, skinny and spindly like this, and they turned into these. Okay, so I've got a bunch of them down there that are even thicker. So now let's talk about pollinating. See all these little flowers? They say peppers are self-pollinating. Matter of fact, another thing you could do is you could shake them around, have the pollen go from one another. But here's a sure way. Just take the Q-tip. Let's see. What I'm going to do is just roll it around in the flower a little bit. Can you see that? And I'm going to take it and I'm going to roll it around in another flower. And then I'm going to roll it around in another flower. So I'm just taking the pollen. Oh, you could see the pollen. I don't know if you can see that close enough. As I'm touching this flower, let's see, I'll do it with, where can I find one? Look really close. As I'm touching this flower, you'll see some of the pollen falling off of it. See that? It's almost like a little puff. I go over here with this one. Oh, let's see if I can move that up. Little puff. For those of you that can't see, because I know it's not a lot of visibility from a cell phone, what's happening is it's almost like baby powder coming off. As you hit it, you can see the powder coming right off. So that, and I'm going to go ahead and pollinate the very first one that I just did. So what I'm doing is taking that powder. Now this is a very pollinated Q-tip. Taking that powder and going from one flower to the next to the next. And I'm going to have Raluca this afternoon do that with all the rest of them. I must have a good, well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got about another 10 dragon stars that are this size in there. And I'm going to have her go around to those and pollinate all of them manually as well. Let me move this out of the way. And here I am. I'm out of the jungle. So that's pretty much what I have for you. So showing you everything from this stage to this stage with the flowering. And these are all been grown indoors so far. They haven't even seen the light of outside, except for when I open one little window, but it's all artificial lighting, artificial everything. Well, not artificial water, but so I have them from basically just beyond the seed. And I did plant these with the seeds right in the ground. Okay, I didn't put them in plastic. Sometimes I put them in plastic bags with paper towels, but these was planted right in the ground, and I put a dome over them. Of course, I plant them in the soil, spray them with water, get them all nice and moist, and then put the cover, and you'll see the dome all get cloudy. And I leave them like that until I see my first sprouts. When they start sprouting, I take them out. Like I said, I took the dome off yesterday. And don't worry about the ones that haven't sprouted, because what's the job of a seed? Once it sprouts, is to find the light. So some people say, keep it in the dark until they come up. I do that with the first few, but afterwards I figure, hey, they want to find the light, they'll have more light, so they're going to come up faster. So going from this to this, and I showed you how to top them, showed you how to get marigolds to help, and how to germinate them. And hopefully really soon, when these grow into the full-fledged dragon breath, I'll even tell you how to eat them. I'm not going to show you because I don't know if I'm brave enough to actually put something in my mouth that is 2.4 million Scoville units, okay? I don't know. Thinking that a jalapeno is only about 8,000. So that's quite a few times, hotter than jalapeno. That's why I call this room the hottest place on earth. So thanks for watching. If you have any more questions about hot peppers, let me know. And remember, if you're not growing, you're not green. Bye-bye now.